Welcome to part 5 of this Richmond Canal Walk painting, and what I'm going to do now is show you how I'm going to be doing the legs of the bridge of all of them. I'm just going to demonstrate this on this one here. Sometimes you can kind of weasel around your straight lines when you are doing your architecture, and I did that a lot with this, just kind of going down. But with this, I kind of, all of these, I need them to be as straight as possible. So I'm going to be using painter's tape. And the reason I'm using painter's tape is because I can get different effects with the bridge, or with the concrete, or whatever the hell it is that they use to make this. So I'm going to come down straight just like that. So the reason I take the tape and I will put it on here just like that when I tear it off is because if I just tear it off, you get that curliness, so it allows me to put it on there and then just take it right off and apply it straight to this without it curling up. So now I'm going to take my palette knife and go ahead and start applying the gray paint to this. And a few seconds ago I said something about it allows me to get different effects, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So, because, shit, I really fucked up right there. Okay. Well, the great thing is that this paint is wet and will be wet for a day or so, so that allows me to, that will allow me to get that up here in a second. But so when it comes to getting different effects, because I have painter's tape on this, I know that there are different, the light is hitting these legs or the piers, I don't know, it's called the legs of the bridge, at different angles. So the top part is getting less light than the bottom part because this part here is underneath the bridge. So if I paint this all one color or one shade of gray, it'll look kind of flat. So what this does is, because I've got that painter's tape on there, it allows me to put this down and come in here and my light source is going to be from this side, so I can come in here and hit this just like this. Just like that. And then I can just kind of blend this with this bigger palette knife, just like that. Sometimes you get these little beads of dried up paint, and if you work with oil paint long enough, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like this little ball of dried up paint that just kind of flows with everything. And this part here will get probably a little bit more light. And like I said, I fucked up that area right there, so. They have made this gray a little bit too dark, but I kind of like it. And I'll take some of that dark paint and apply it to this side over here. What I can come back and do later on, once all this is dry, is I can kind of edge in some different details, like some darker and lighter ones, because I don't want to really ruin what I have here. It's possible that when you're palette knife painting, if you have an area that looks really good and you try to come back over top of it while it's still wet, you can mess that section up. And then trying to get that effect again is piss you off. Great thing about palette knife painting is that you can get effects, in my opinion, that you can't get with a brush. Now, I'll just take all this and go ahead and tear this off. So where I fucked this up is right here. It needs to come along just like that. I'm just using a brush with paint thinner to kind of loosen that up and lift it up. I could have used a rag to go along and do that, but so there you have it. That's how I kind of get this effect of keeping my line straight. Now I see there's some areas right there that kind of need to be fixed. So I can just again come with my wet brush and just kind of clean that up. Now the thing is that I'm going to come back in here and clean this up with some more sky color. So even if I got out of line just a little bit, it's okay. And this painting, when I get finished, it's going to be way up high on a wall, so a lot of these smaller mistakes you won't really be able to see from a distance. Shit. You'll be able to see that. Darken that up. So once I get finished with everything, or get finished with the underside of this bridge, I'll come back and hit all of these exactly the same way. I did that also with the train bridge back here. I just took a piece of tape, painter's tape, painted it in so I could get different effects, ripped it up, and like I said, I'll do that with all of these. So there's a little bit of cleaning up in here to do, kind of like highlights in here, but I can do that once it dries. And this right here, as you can see, that kind of like line right there. I'm gonna add a very, very lighter touch of paint along here and there once that dries. But yeah, this I think this part over here could stand to use a little bit of a bump out. And so a few seconds ago I was talking about, like, if you have an area that if you have to come back in with your palette knife, this is one of those areas that I probably should have left alone and let it dry. So, but anyway. But once this is dry completely, I'm going to darken this area very lightly and then kind of add some highlights in here and clean that area up. But yeah, there you go. That's how I am going to be doing the legs of the bridge for this underpass for the Richmond Canal Walk. And then in the next video, what I plan to do is probably, this will all be done here. It's probably just kind of show you how I'm going to do all this down here, all this water. So I also have some trees and bushes. So actually, you know what I may do? I don't know. I don't know if I'll do the trees and bushes in these videos because I've done other things on trees and bushes. So I'll probably just do this section here and give that about a day or so to dry, and then put in all my highlights and touch-ups on that. So anyway, thank you for tuning in for my quick video on how I do my work on my palette knife painting stuff.